So this week's Parsha is VaYeshev. And before we go into that, Wynwood is where there's the most beautiful art. Besides for the art, there's two things it's good for: getting robbed and meeting homeless people. But that's where there's the most potential for good. Where there's nothing, that's where there's the most potential to build incredible art, great things. So God could have chose Yosef to be the great-great-grandfather of King David and of Mashiach. After all, Yosef was a perfect tzaddik. He overcame so many tests. But God chose Yehuda. Yehuda was the one who actually got Yosef sent away in the first place. Not only that, but who is Tamar? Tamar was supposed to be the daughter-in-law of Yehuda. But Yehuda gave Tamar to his first son. He died. He gave Tamar to his second son. He died. And it ended up being that because Tamar knew and wanted to be the great-great-grandmother of King David and of Mashiach, she was willing to do whatever it took. So she dressed herself up as a prostitute in order to entice Yehuda to have a child with her. So the Midrash tells us that in reality, Yehuda was a tzaddik. And it's not normal that he should want to go with a prostitute. But an angel, actually it was the angel Gabriel, convinced Yehuda to go with Tamar. And the more there is potential for good, the more resistance there is. Look at all this beautiful art over here. If you go outside, you start walking around a couple miles, you might get robbed. But look at the art. There's nowhere else in Miami where you see art like this. People come from all over the world for Art Basel in order to see this art in a place like this. So we gotta always remember that if things don't look good on the outside, hidden good has a lot of potential for revealed good. And it's our job in this world to turn the nothingness and to make it into art, to make it into something beautiful. That's what we're here for. God gives us the raw energy. God gives us the raw material, and we turn it into something beautiful. That is actually why we call God a he and we are a she. Because the man provides the seed and the woman develops it into a baby. God gives us the raw material, and us, the creation, his children, are the one that develop the raw material into something beautiful, like art. God gives us the paint, God gives us the wall, and we make art. And we can see this, especially in this week's Parsha. We can see that God did not choose Yosef. No, he chose Yehuda. Yehuda, who made many mistakes, who had a child through his supposed to be daughter-in-law. That's who King David's going to come from. That's who Mashiach is going to come from. So may we internalize this message and once again make art from the beautiful raw material that God gives us. Amen.